They lost to Istanbul Başakşehir here on Matchday 1, 4-0, comprehensively beaten on the night. But a morale-boosting 2-0 win in Riga against RFS last time out has them second in the table coming into this match. And of course a double-header against Fiorentina right in the meat of this group. We'll keep you up to date with the other game in the group, which is in Riga tonight. RFS up against those dangerous Turks. And that's obviously a big game as well. Probably what Hearts want is Istanbul to go away and win every single game, and they can eye up second spot given what happened on Matchday 1. What will happen in Matchday 3? We're about to find out under the lights at Tynecastle here on Sports Sound of BBC Radio Scotland in the company of Craig Levein, Alan Preston and Paul Mitchell.
Thank you, Liam. Good evening, everybody. Tynecastle is buzzing for this one. Hearts against Fiorentina. Europe hasn't been kind to Scottish clubs so far this season. 18 games for Scottish sides. They've won just 4. They've lost 12. And Hearts will be hoping to make it win number 5. They've struggled at home, though. Hearts have yet to find the back of the net in the European games so far this season. In fact, the last Hearts player to score at home in Europe was Connor Salmon. I'll tell you how long ago that was. But kind of the Maltese side who went on to win at Tynecastle. So Hearts split across to our left-hand side. They are in all maroon this evening. And then from Fiorentina, all white with a purple chevron on the front of their shirts. Hearts break across to our right-hand side. It's a Hearts squad anchored by Craig Gordon. 81 European appearances across all the clubs, Craig Gordon. The rest of the teammates across the Hearts squad have 93 European appearances to their name. 18 of these Hearts players are playing in European football for the first time. Contrast that with Fiorentina. 11 of their squad have made their first appearances in European football this term. Up against Riga, well, let's be honest, Fiorentina absolutely hammered them 1-1. 30 shots, the most in Europe on that particular night, but managed only a single goal. Goal scoring has been a problem for Fiorentina. Goalkeeping has also been an issue. Pierluigi Golini, who's between the sticks tonight, certainly cost them 2 of the goals against Istanbul. One, he came outside his box, juggled the ball and got closed down very quickly as well. So there will be a minute's silence all around this ground for the memory of the horrible scenes in Indonesia. Those who went to a game and didn't get the opportunity to come home.
Stadium in Indonesia. This will begin and end on the referee's whistle.
Vi preghiamo di alzare in piedi e presentare un momento di silenzio in memoria delle vittime dei tragici eventi allo stadio di Kanjuran in Indonesia.
You're listening to BBC Radio Scotland, Europa Conference League football, Group A, Matchday 3, Hearts against Fiorentina. Our referee from Belgium, Eric Lambrechts. He's been in Scotland before. He's refereed Scotland under-21s in Paisley, Aberdeen against Cherokee Brieg some 5 years ago. And this is his first trip to Tynecastle. Hearts of Craig Gordon in goal, the back three of Nielsen, Kingsley and Cochrane. Smith, Kumar-Tsoglu, Grant and Halliday, the 4 in the midfield. Ginelli, Shankland and Mackay, the players up front. For Fiorentina, Golini in goal. Terzic, arguably their third choice right back. Quarta, Igor Baraghi, top class player at left back. Bonaventura, Mandragora, Amrabat, Kouame, Juric and Saponara. And we are underway under the lights at Tynecastle. That's Quarta, the Argentine international, inside to the Brazilian Igor. Bright orange boots coming from left to right, skips away from Shankland. Amrabat picks up in the midfield, pulls it back to Quarta. Quarta out onto the near side, an early touch for Terzic. Terzic takes the touch back inside, into that shaven-headed figure of Sofian Amrabat. Born in the Netherlands, Moroccan descent. He's a real distinctive figure in the midfield. Quarta has it inside his own half. Hearts with everybody back behind the ball now by Shanklin. And pushing it, Kilmot Zogler really forcing Amrabat to play the ball back to Quarta. Quarta back to Galini. Galini short to Amrabat up at the edge of the area. And back inside it comes to the Argentinian. Takes a touch, pushes it forward, picked up by Mackay. Mackay quickly throw it to Shanklin. Shanklin's offside. He cuts inside Amrabat, but the flag was up very quickly indeed. Craig Green alongside me. We talked about this before the game, you and I. Barry Mackay getting the ball quickly and moving it in behind Andifer Ginelli, or in that case Shanklin.
Yeah, and Shanklin just found himself a yard or two offside. I mean, Hearts this can look like a 3-4-3 system, but more likely it's going to be a 5-4-1. And Hearts are going to try and frustrate them, I'm sure.
Terzic on the near side, turns the ball inside, back onto Quarta. Great atmosphere inside this ground. 700 fans from Italy are here. Long, aimless ball. Quarta gives it away on that far side. And Alan Preston, that's the kind of person you won't see out of defence from the Italians.
Yeah, it is, but you can already see, Paul, they're very comfortable on the ball. You know, they don't panic. They've all had a touch so far. Very, very patient they'll be. But at that time, he tries to hit one 50 yards diagonal, just gets it wrong. But it won't faze them. That's some atmosphere.
Followed by Smith, flicked on. Igor stretches ball inside the Fiorentina half. Quarta uses the right boot back to his goalkeeper. Galini, 27-year-old. He's favoured for the European matches this term as opposed to the league games. Had a little spell with Spurs last season. Actually played half a dozen games in Europe for them. So got plenty of experience at this level. Igor brings it forward, dropping back short. Well, it's going to be gathered inside. Quarta will take it. Quarta, Bonaventura steps to the halfway line, just holding the ball. Hearts almost just deciding to sit on the halfway line. Quarta got the opportunity to bring it forward. Kami made the run. Goes back to Terzic on the halfway line. Amrabat under pressure. And he quickly from Kilmot Zoglu. The German doing well. Igor out of defence, out wide onto Baraghi. Baraghi tries to find Saponara on that far side. And the ball is knocked out of play. The throw will go the way of the men in white. But Baraghi is limping. He took a little knock as he went through. He is such an influential player. The Italian international player.
He just collided with Michael Smith. He went for the 1-2 and I think they just caught each other knee to knee. He'll be okay.
Yeah, he's run that off. It looks like he'll be fine. Igor now strokes the ball forward. Headed away by Cochrane. Forward onto Mackay. Comes down to Amrabat. Amrabat tries to get away from his man. He does so. And he'll drive through the middle across the left-hand side. Almost passes to the referee. Mandragora sends it out wide onto that far side. Banagi is okay. Amrabat will sit. Ball gets past Shanklin. Through the centre circle it comes. Quarta again. Quarta launches it long, looking for Terzic. Terzic will gather up against Halliday, up at the edge of the area. Place the ball into box. Chance here. Oh, it's a goal. Mandragora came across, simply headed it in. Nobody closed down the cross. Terrible start for Hearts. 4 minutes gone. Hearts 0, Fiorentina 1.
Yeah, that's just exactly what Hearts didn't want. I mean, there wasn't enough pressure on the ball in the wide area. Terzic got to throw the ball into the back post. Run wasn't tracked, and for me, it's a simple goal. It was a very difficult one for Craig Gordon to even have a chance of stopping. The ball was headed down into what is a slippery surface, and it bounced off the ground and in the back of the net before Craig had a chance to dive for it.
That's the worst possible start, you know, because it's and now in 3 or 4 minutes Hearts had a hit. They hadn't got near it, you know, and I get that they want to help them have the ball at the back, but they just let them play around. They went from one side of the pitch to the other. That was a throw-in on the left-hand side that eventually comes out to the right, and it's a decent ball, and not a brilliant ball, but decent. And then one of the 3 centre halves can't get their head on the end of it, and they find themselves 1-0 down 4 minutes in.
Well, it's a litany of woes for Hearts as far as conceding at home. Now conceding their last 8 home European games. Last clean sheet 2009 against Dinamo Zagreb, and a win here at Tynecastle. But behind against Zurich, behind against Istanbul, Başakşehir, and behind again tonight.
Yeah, I mean, there was a chance that Fiorentina, having won only one game in the last 10, might have been a little bit vulnerable. And, you know, the first 10 minutes of the match is the time to find out, to have a go and see if you can put pressure on them. But we just let them off the hook, I think.
Howard tries to come forward. Good challenge by Kingsley. Kingsley lays the ball back to Nielsen outside his area. Plays it to Smith. Back on to Nielsen outside the box. Launches it long. That's going to go out of play on that far side. This is not a team you want to play when they're confident, for the reasons that both the guys have outlined. They've not been much of a goal threat in Serie A. They've done well enough in Europe, with the exception being Istanbul. And the lead here at Tynecastle.
So you will look at the standards of the league. I mean, the Turkish league, they've got millions of pounds here. Mesut Ozil plays for Başakşehir, and he's on a fortune over there. And then, obviously, Fiorentina, Italy's one of the best leagues in Europe. They're quality outfits.
And attacking again, Terzic moving forward up to the edge of the area, plays it out wide. Rami, little clip ball across, it's going to be too long, it's going to take a bounce, go outside the box, and Ginelli is there. He has to play it under pressure from Bonaventura. And it's away by Smith up towards the halfway line. Igor wins the header. Hearts will gather on that far side. Grant looks ahead. Grant wants a runner, plays it inside onto Shanklin. 3 shots round him immediately. Loses out. And Quarta did really well, just came up against Shanklin, took the ball off him. This could be a long night for Hearts.
As soon as Fiorentina get the ball, Hearts drop into their shape. That's what they do. They just drop off and they say, all right, you can have that back 3, 4, whatever you want, you can have the ball. And that's going to catch them out.
Saponarara comes forward from the edge of the area, gets the shot away. He was trying for an in-swinger, it was an out-swinger. It's well wide in the end, but more concern, Craig Levine.
Yeah, just to elaborate a little bit on Alan's point there. It's okay dropping back into shape, but when you go to engage, you have to do it aggressively.
And you have to do it as a team, Craig. You can't do it individually.
And for me, so far, there hasn't been any engagement. It's just been the dropping off part.
Long ball from the back, out of play it goes, thrown to Fiorentina. Picked up by Bonaventura, 33-year-old centre midfield player. Can play on the left wing as well. And he's just sitting waiting for the ball to come back to Amrabat.
Paul, you can actually see it there when we're sitting up here and we get a perfect line of it. It's a back 5 for Hearts. They're just playing and they drop into a 5. And then there was a spell there where Grant could have gone and closed his man, but he decided, no, I'll just leave him and drop off. Go and have a go.
I had a go there. It's a good tackle on Jovic. 2-7s. Jovic remains down. The ball's played out wide onto Smith. Smith, though, hits it off against Baraghi, and he has to sprint back. He'll have to play that back onto Craig Gordon, edge of his 6-yard box. Hearts trailing by 1-0. Scotland, Austria, and Hampden 0-0. And the ball is gathered and sent long by Cochrane. Long ball, it's going to come all the way into the area.
Hey!
But he's touched it outside the area.
He's touched outside the box.
Now, this is going to be a problem. The referee watches as the ball gets knocked away. I thought he was going to try and wait, but he stuck his hand outside the box and clawed that back inside, and the referee's not given anything.
It wasn't in line, the referee, but it looked out to me.
I thought he was going to wait for it coming in, and he reached out because he was under pressure.
From here, I mean, we don't have the benefit of looking at the television, but from here, he definitely touched the ball outside the penalty area.
Well, he got away with one there. Now Hearts play the ball forward. Halliday swings it in. Chance! Mackay watches as in comes Smith from the back. Gets the header away, down, up into the arms of Golini. Remains Hearts 0, Fiorentina 1. Better from Hearts.
Yeah, a lot better. One wing back playing it in, the other wing back coming in at the back post. Far better.
So Hearts will feel a little bit hard done by in terms of no decision coming against the goalkeeper. Already seen a goalkeeper sent off this week in Champions League action. Exploring Lisbon for coming outside his area and playing the ball. As the ball gets played forward. Bonaventura under pressure from Cochrane, forced to send the ball back to Amrabat, back to Bonaventura. He just clip it back towards Igor. Outside his box, the Hearts fans are urging the Hearts team forward, but they're trying to stay disciplined. Just allow Fiorentina the ball at the back. Now it's Amrabat. It's a lovely ball. Kami was waiting for it. Hearts though intercepted through Halliday, but it's been given away though poorly by Mackay, and it comes up to the halfway line. And Sofiane Amrabat, from a Trek Feyenoord Rouge player, paid just over £20 million for him, is running things from just in front of the back 4 at the moment. Jabs the ball short into Quarta now on the angle, looking for Sapora trying to gather. He does so ahead of Smith. And Regada just inside him. Ball played across. It's going to be intercepted though by George Grant, and Grant gets the ball away up to Shanklin. Shanklin lays the ball back. Now Ginelli plays it long and forward. That's just going to break all the way through from inside the Hearts half all the way through to Galini. Hearts need to take time with the ball as well.
Yeah, they're not going to get very many opportunities to construct an attack, and when they do, they've got to be more accurate than Ginnelly was there.
Long ball on the angle, that's too far for Christian Kouame. Over the Coast international player, it's out of play. And Hearts have it through Andy Halliday. The referee just asking him to stop, and he'll leave the ball for Alex Cochrane. Cochrane just wanders slowly up towards the ball. 5th appearance in Europe this season for him. Ever present in the starting 11. Wants some movement. He gets it. Kieran Jogler sends it away up towards Shanklin. Shanklin though used his hand. Oh, the referee spotted that hand. And that's going to be a free kick.
Yeah, I think that Hearts can't afford to lose another goal quickly, Alan. That's crucial, because if they can get some good moments and start to feel a little bit better and a little bit more confident, then I'm sure that they can get something out of this match. But if they lose a goal quickly, I think they're in big trouble.
It's gathered in. He'll play the cross. Terzic, Ginnelly went short, but Igor was there. Amrabat will play it out wide. Nicely done. Saponara. Saponara plays it inside Amrabat, but Ginnelly has taken him down, and the referee gives the free kick. Amrabat remains down on the ground, just a few yards inside the Hearts half on the left-hand side.
I don't think the Hearts fans have taken too well to this referee, Paul.
No, there'll be no chips and mayonnaise around these parts with a Belgian in charge. I'm very happy. He's actually very yellow card happy. 47 yellow cards so far in 11 games, including 8 the last time he was in Europe. So he's got a bit of a short fuse when it comes to finding the yellow card. Quarta out wide. Baraghi. And Vergara is on the outside. That's where the ball will go. Nielsen tries to close him down. The cross comes in, hits off Nielsen. Corner to Fiorentina, who lead by 1-0. 12.5 minutes gone.
And here's another problem for Hearts. They don't have, with the exception of Nielsen, who is a centre half, they don't have an out and out. Kingsley's a left midfield, a left wing back, left back. Yeah. Cochrane's a left back, Smith's a right back. They don't really have anyone that goes and aggressively wins the ball in the air.
No, Craig Halkett couldn't make this game, unfortunately for Hearts. Now the corner is swung in. Oh, that should be 2. Well, he came in. Look at Jovic. Now, he's worth 60-odd million. You think Hearts might have picked him up coming through, but he almost got a clear header. In fact, the player that was causing more problems for him was Christian Kouame. That should be 2-0.
Yeah, it's a great ball in. I think it's Cochrane that's picking him up, but it's a mismatch in strength. And that's what I'm saying. Hearts have to watch the set plays here, Paul, tonight, because they don't have height, they don't have the strength that the team from Italy have got.
Well, Fiorentina enjoying themselves so far. Vincenzo Italiano, the 44-year-old manager, has been under a little bit of pressure. Will be thrilled as Igor takes the ball away from Shanklin. Over the halfway line it comes. Jovic comes back for it. Zoglu tries to gather, but he can't do so. And now here's a chance. Terzic moving forward. He's got Kouame on the inside. He steps in 25 yards from goal. Shot deflected into Bonaventura. Nielsen has to hook it away 8 yards from his own goal. And Cochrane gets it away as well. Well, Fiorentina, I've watched several of their games, and I have to say this is the most interesting they've looked. As the ball comes back on the inside, on to Igor. Igor's got all sorts of room to run. He's never scored in senior football, so he doesn't about turn, plays it out wide. Baraghi now, Saponara inside, works a little 1-2 with Jovic. He's up at the edge of the area, he's still going, trying to get away from ground. Skip past his man, cuts the ball back, it's blocked. Comes in again, Hearts are in trouble here. The header comes across, and Cochrane has to knock it away. As Kouame got the header back across, Cochrane knocks it away, and Hearts again pulled all the way over, left to right.
They're all over the place at the moment, Hearts. They don't know whether to stick or twist. They don't know whether to go and press or drop off. One goes to press, the other one drops off. They're at the moment, they're at 6s and 7s.
Yeah, and another set piece which Fiorentina definitely have the height advantage in the penalty area.
Yeah, tall players, Kouame, Saponara, Quarta up from the back, scored recently. Ball comes in, it's met by Saponara. And the Hearts defender, Hearts wanted that their way. It's going to go the way of Fiorentina. It's another corner. It's their 3rd of the game. Hearts trailing by 1-0, just 15 minutes gone at Tynecastle. Naragi, former Inter youth. Of course, there's the usual pushing and pulling in the penalty area, the usual hollow warning from the referee. When push comes to shove, will do very little about it. He's trying to impose his will here. Smith and Quarta In fact, it's George Grant who wanders over to get a little word from the referee. So, inside the 6-yard area, Saponara is waiting for it. Now they come in, the cross comes in, punch from Craig Gordon up to the edge of the area. Ginnelly was pushed there by Amrabat. The referee spotted it just outside the D from the penalties area, and Hearts will get that free kick. And Hearts just need a little bit of time on the ball, but it's hard to see where it's going to come from.
Yeah, they haven't settled down yet, and because they've lost the goal, they've got the fog inside their brains at the moment, and they're not thinking clearly, because Alan's right, they're not pressing together, they're not dropping off together, they aren't playing with enough aggression. And my hope is that the brains can clear in the next 15 minutes without losing a goal, and maybe just start to try and work as a team.
Mandragora, his first European goal. Hearts give the ball away onto Christian Kouamé, moving through the middle, now down to the left-hand side, onto Biraghi, tracked back by Ginnelly. Ginnelly trying to get the tackle in, does so. The ball's gone out of play, it's a goal kick. Biraghi trying to use all his experience to fool the referee into giving a corner. That was well defended in the end by Josh Ginnelly.
But even that's cute play, and it's very, very experienced play, Paul. You see that the fullback, it's a by kick to Hearts. Hearts want to take it quick, but the fullback grabs the ball and brings it on the pitch. So there's two balls on the pitch to stop the game, drops the ball, allows him to get time back into his formation.
Gordon plays it to the side to Nielsen, long ball played through, it's covered back header, goalkeeper comes outside of his area, launches his boot right through it, breaks for Smith. Saponara on that far side, now it's forward onto Ginnelly. Ginnelly up against Biraghi. Saponara gets it from the defender. Now here Murtzoglu is brushed away. Ball played onto the inside, onto Jovic. Not really a success at Real Madrid, but he's doing well here. Round the corner it goes onto Mandragora. And the cross comes in, Lewis Nielsen blocks it. It's turned behind it. It's been a torrid opening for Hearts here at Tynecastle, trailing by 1-0 to nil. Rolando Mandragora, the man from Naples, is the difference in the goal scoring stakes.
You can just see their touch, their awareness that they've got, their physical presence, the size of them. You know, they're a good side. Yes, they've not had a great start in Serie A, but what a good side there.
Well, if they wondered what to make of Hearts, they're making light work of them at the moment. Corner comes in, takes a little bounce, breaks off Grant, up to the edge of the box. Quarter plays it back, Amrabat watches, he plays it in, it's knocked away by the Hearts defence. And again, it's going to be left up to the goalkeeper to take it from the fullback Terzic. Back to the goalkeeper, standing 10 yards outside his box, not a Hearts player near him. Steps up Galini, strikes it forward. Kouamé wins the header. Coming across there, it's a late challenge. Jovic gets up and gesticulates at the referee. That's the kind of thing that referees don't like. Very slow to get back up, but he will do so in the end. Now Scotland international for a second time, Stephen Kingsley, and he gets up and is okay. The ball is nowhere to be seen.
1 minute there's too many balls in the next minute.
Yeah, well, we got one from the near side, so that will come, and Craig Gordon will gather. Gordon now sends the ball forward. Now the ball comes on the inside, and all the way through it goes to his opposite number, Galini, one from Bologna. Just taking the time from the back, Quarter across the 18-yard box. And now the long ball on the angle, looking for Kouamé. Halliday comes back, Kouamé brings the ball down, Halliday gets in front of him, Kouamé plays it nicely inside, works a little 1-2, he goes diving past Halliday. Well, Bonaventura played the ball back to him, he was looking for the free kick, there's nothing in that. Halliday helps him back up, goal kick.
He just runs across Andy Halliday, there's nothing he could have done, and down he goes. The referee at this time gets that correct.
Hearts have played the ball quickly. Jovic can go into the area from the goal kick and play on Nielsen. Ginnelly, I was about to say, got away with a push. He didn't. Took down Biraghi. The Hearts fans can complain. It was a clear free kick. And Fiorentina continued to dominate. Hearts 20 minutes played. Hearts 0. Fiorentina 1.
You look at Robbie, he's over there, he's out, he's frustrated as well. And Craig, when does the time become when you say, right, we're going to have to engage here? Dropping off, isn't it? It's not working.
I think that it's really difficult to do it during the half. You know, it almost has to be, you know, everybody knows exactly what they're doing, and trying to get the message on piecemeal is really, really difficult. I think he's got to hope that just stay in the game for the time being, unless he makes a system change. You know?
Yeah, but surely now, listen, nowadays, I mean, I remember speaking to Brendan Rodgers about it. This was let this tack go.
Here's Igor coming forward, shoots, and Craig Gordon with a save. Unbelievable. He just was allowed to rumble his way forward. Craig Gordon diving to his left, one-handed, turns it behind.
Yeah, great hit, great save. But just talking about Brendan Rodgers, when he was at Celtic, he covered every eventuality. And this is something that Robbie should have probably has covered, but when does he go to that to say, right, we need to engage here, we need to move on?
Well, we're not going to get a drinks break for the heat, are we? So, got a kick coming from the left-hand side. Nagy again in, header. Kilmort-Zoglu gets the header in, edge of the 6-yard box, goes all the way out onto that left-hand side. It's going to be a throw-in. Mandragora will come and take. Spills at Genoa, Juventus. Udinese went back to Juventus as well. Udinese bought him for 8 million, sold him for 23 back to Juventus. Nice piece of business. Just breaking there, Mandragora. So too Saponara. Amrabat will take it though. Up against Grant. Grant makes the challenge. Ball goes out of play. The gain just a couple of yards. It's down by the corner flag on the far side as we watch from opposite the new main stand here at Tynecastle. The throw taken from the wrong place. It's into Bonaventura. Now clipped into the area. Kilmort-Zoglu gets the ball away. And it's just easily taken away. Amrabat. Hearts go tumbling. Hearts might get a free kick here. The referee, I don't think, like the challenge on Ginnelly. And Hearts will get a free kick, a chance to relieve some of the pressure. Half-time at Hampden, Scotland and Austria in that World Cup qualifying game, 0-0.
Just to pick up on Alan, just to pick up on your point, my view on this is quite simple. Robbie's operating a low block here, right? The problem is that there's no engagement, no matter how deep Hearts get. So the low block's designed to fall back into your own half, but then as soon as you start to press the ball, you go with speed. And that hasn't happened. They've retreated and not done the second part.
The low block's fine, Craig, as long as you're in the game and it's 0-0.
No, it's all right at 1-0, as long as you're doing it properly.
Yeah.
But then you can make a definite decision when to take the chance and go all-out attack. But at this minute in the match, they're not doing anything. They're dropping off. They're not playing with any aggression when the ball does come into their areas.
Well, it's more likely to be 2-0 than 1-0.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely, I agree with that at this moment in time.
Ball forward, it's taken down. Jovic for the chance, took the touch and blast the ball high over the crossbar. Saponara was the player who won the ball on the penalty spot, got away from Kingsley. Fedi's striker, and Jovic brought it down, starting in Europe for the first time this season, and blasted it over.
That was a good chance on his left side, but he was a little bit off balance and just put it over the crossbar.
You're going to get much for 60 million euros these days, eh?
No, he's missed 2 chances. I don't know what they see in him. Ball gets played to that far side. Hearts try and gather through Smith. Up to the halfway line, onto Lawrence Shanklin. And the back takes him down. And the referee decides the free kick will go Hearts' way. And of course, the applause from the Hearts fans to the referees. The blue top.
But they just do everything right, Paul. Once again, the player stands right in front of the ball, so Hearts can't take it quick. Ginnelly made a quick run there, but the Fiorentina player stood within a foot of the ball, so it couldn't get played. They just know how to play the game.
Especially when they're in front.
Yeah, brilliant at it.
Moroccan international player, 36 caps. He's been the influential player so far. Now Hearts play the ball back inside their own half. Now launched long by Cochran. Mackay is making the chase, but he's got no chance. Goalkeeper will come across and gather. Need to try and put some pressure on this goalkeeper.
Yeah, I mean, that's the right idea, but the ball has to land outside the penalty box, so the keeper can't come out and just pick it up as he's done there just now. I mean, the run was good by Mackay. The ball was the right idea, but it wasn't executed properly.
It's not stopped him before taking the ball outside his box, has it?
He must be allowed to take the ball outside in his hands.
Must be fine. Here come Fiorentina up towards the halfway line. Kingsley bit early. Saponara goes down. He's waving away. It's a yellow card for Kingsley. Ricardo Saponara, former under-21 player, now 30 years old, is down. He's rubbing at his heel and his boot. Did he sell that to the ref?
I think he'll get up and be fine. You know that.
Yeah.
So the answer is yes. It's 25 minutes gone. And you can see Andy Halliday complaining to the referee. He's still down. Now, we might be doing him a disservice I suspect not, but he will come on. Hearts, the players being called over by Robbie Nielsen. Everybody's being waved across onto that side, so a chance just to have one or two words. Craig Gordon hasn't gone over. There's a conversation going on between Mackay and Halliday, so it's not everyone that's gone over there, Alan Preston.
No, it's not, but I think that he'll be making a change here of some sort, you know, whether to go and push on, whether it's maybe the back three, can we go tighter, can we go up, move up 5-10 yards to get closer to Shanklin. Shanklin's on his own, he's completely isolated up there. There's no one near him, he's taking the two of his three centre-halves over. Kings will then give instructions to Michael Smith, and they'll try and give it on to Cochrane as well. It's been a very, very difficult 26 minutes.
Certainly has. Saponara, I presume, is sponsored by a local bakery. He's had more rolls there than anything else. They're slowly getting him to his feet, but boy, did he want to roll around on the deck. He is hobbling off. I say, don't want to do him a disservice, but I mean, he was going left and right, and now he's gone down again, and the stretcher is called for. Well, interestingly, that neither of the medical staff were supporting him or trying to hold him off that foot. Not sure they see the serious nature, but it is going to be a stretcher required.
Yeah, I didn't think there was an awful lot in the challenge, but you're right, I might be doing him a disservice. I think that going back to this same point that we're on about, for me, when you've done it, I've actually done it myself and had this sort of result, a couple of times, maybe going to Celtic Park, playing with a low block, and the message is once the Celtic get into a certain area of the field, we go with real purpose and we attack and we play aggressively. And sometimes it just doesn't happen. So the plan isn't executed and then you get half time and then you say, look, we spoke about before the game, we worked on it in training all week. Once we get this point in the game, we go and everybody goes. And if they don't do it, then you've got a situation that you need to try and fix when you can. And that will be half-time.
Yes, what we're seeing right in front of us, the boos were for Saponara, who saw the stretcher coming out, decided to get back up and skipped his way off to the far side, so it might not be as bad as he was trying to make out. In fact, he's standing waiting to come on. It's temporarily 10 for Fiorentina as Bonaventura looked like he handled that. Ball's played down the side. Kouame, he's onside. Little turn on the inside. The header again. Jovic got himself free. Hearts are absolutely furious. Jovic sent the header wide, but again, looked offside, not given. You've got to keep going till either the flag goes up or the whistle goes. That again could have been the second goal.
So, Dada, you've got to play to the whistle. And then once it goes out, then you can have a go at the referee and his assistant. But no VAR here. They're going to not going to change their mind. Linesman had his flag down. Cross comes in. Jovic again. He could have had a hat trick so far.
That for a striker is a good chance.
Yeah. Ricardo Saponara is back. He's okay on that far side with the purple boots. Very distinctive. And he's fine. And going again, ball on the halfway line. Hearts trailing by 1-0. Sports Sound on BBC Radio Scotland, and the qualifier at hand, and 0-0 between Scotland and Austria. Galini has the ball at the edge of his own area, sends it long. Cochrane tries to win the header, gets ahead of Bonaventura. Now Kermortoglu tries to get there. Kermortoglu tries to gather, but again gives the ball away. Shanklin comes in, picked up once more. Kermortoglu sends it forward, rather aimless towards Ginelli. And well, Nielsen tries to get the head of the ball just one side of the halfway line for Hearts, trying to get it through the centre circle, but Amrabat will gather and take it away down that left side. Amrabat inside onto Saponara, who's up and okay. And Regada looked to be an offside position up at the edge of the area, and Hearts managed to get the ball back up to the halfway line. Hearts are being stretched here. Amrabat gathers once more over the centre circle. Gathers, Bonaventura picks up, spins out to the left-hand side. Baraghi is there, closed down by Ginelli. Rain continuing to fall here at Tynecastle. Bonaventura, Saponara up at the edge of the area, a little tackle that might break the way back of Bonaventura. It was Kingsley's header that got it away. It was an awkward little ball through, fell Fiorentina's way. Kingsley was there, now it's launched long. Igor holding up Shanklin, and the referee decided Rugi defender did nothing wrong. And it's gathered once more. And Hearts, well, if I was impressed by Istanbul, I must admit I'm more impressed by Fiorentina. Now Terzic, low ball into the box, turned away. And Kingsley picked up by Halliday. Halliday sends it straight. Amrabat He sends it straight back down the middle. Nielsen clears. Up to the halfway line it goes. Ginelli might take the advantage here. Ginelli tried to get away from Bonaventura, and Baraghi got into a miss. They managed to get enough on the ball to get it back to the goalkeeper. Now Terzic being closed down by Mackay. Hearts certainly an awful lot further up here, but then the danger is you leave the gaps and you get passed through. Fiorentina, it's their first European campaign since 2016-17, qualified against FC20 of Holland. But the thing with them is that they've played well in Europe, not so well at home. Now the short ball back to Galini inside.
There you go.
He sends it away.
Press the game.
There's the press. That time coming in by Cochrane, all the way up from the back, pressing as the goalkeeper got the back pass and had to send the ball into the main stand.
Got to press the game there. Honestly, they've got to go and step forward, be brave.
Just giving the ball away. Jovic has it. 10 yards inside his own half, turns, spins, Kramie, that was cut out well by Cochrane. He needed to get there. Now Gilbert Zogler tries to gather, and it's picked up again. Andraga, the goal scorer, back to the goalkeeper, Galini. Galini pushes it forward, and Rabat sends it forward, just hits the German midfielder all the way back to the goalkeeper. The other thing with that, Alan, you felt, the temperature inside Tynecastle rose as well.
That's it. Because if Hearts continue to drop off and play as they're playing, Fiorentina are going to score again. It's as simple as that.
Lovely ball down there.
Going to have to do something different.
Down the left side of Hearts. Halliday did well, turned the ball out under pressure from Christian Kouame. Kouame won the throw for his side. They played it all the way back to the halfway line. He got to Quarta. Quarta plays it forward. Bonaventura. And Rabat. And Rabat gathers. Bonaventura again, just no Hearts jersey close to him. Bonaventura into the area, looking for Saponara. Headed away, picked up by the goal scorer. He'll flick it forward. Jovic almost got in there. Nielsen went with his left foot, then had to recover with his right. Amanda Nagara just pushes his man over just outside the area. It's going to be a free kick to Hearts. It has been a torrid time for Hearts. 33 minutes gone. Hearts 0, Fiorentina 1.
I've got to say the fans are magnificent. They're sticking with them, and rightly so. If you know your football, this is a class outfit, Paul. They're a good side. Yes, they're having a bad patch, but teams can turn it on. You look at Liverpool, we're sitting 7th, 8th in the English Premier League. Wiped the floor with Rangers the other night. It's just the different levels.
Hearts having to try and find a way to find their first home European goal of the season. Lauren Shankland will gather 30 yards from goal, push it forward onto Barry Mackay, goes through Ginelli. Halliday would have scored, but the referee has pulled it back for a free kick. Hearts are furious at the decision that's been given. Baraghi thinks it's the correct call, but signs of life from Hearts.
That was the first bit of decent attacking play that they've had, and how far into the match are we just now?
35 minutes.
35 minutes. That was the first reasonable attack. I didn't see what happened, or didn't see what the free kick was for, Alan. Did you?
There seemed to be, I think it was Ginelli was coming through, and I don't know what the referee's seen, possibly a push.
Yeah, I just wondered if he clipped him on the way through, but Hearts trying to apply some pressure. Amrabat plays the ball back to Galini. Edge of the D, back to Amrabat. Trying to get away. Kiyomurtsoglu forces him wide. Baraghi now will scoop the ball high in there. That's an awkward one. Kingsley will let it bounce and see it back on to Craig Gordon. 20 years, the Hearts goalkeeper made his debut against Livingston. Craig Levine was the boss, handed him his first start. Obviously.
I was in the dugout, I couldn't believe it. Get the end swingers on top of the kid. It's brilliant.
Well, it worked out. Barry Wilson scored for Livingston, but Hearts got the equaliser through Phil Stamp. And ball on that far side, just inside Hearts half. And then again, we've seen it, and the guys have said it. Saponara goes in, runs past the man, trying to take the free kick quickly, and Grant then gets into a mess. And Regada then in trouble. Hearts go down again. But again, Saponara then has a little go. Well, he's a little tad temperamental on that far side. Almost 200 appearances in Serie A. Ricardo Saponara.
Paul, it's just knowing the game at this level. It really is. It's not great, we don't like to see it, but if the shoe was on the other foot, Hearts would do the same. It's really good play.
Zogler, little head flicking up towards the edge of the area. Amrabat gives it away. Arson to Grant. Grant steps forward. Hearts real first attack, ball inside to the German. German gets across to Barry Mackay. Kiermaier-Zoglu again plays the ball through. Hearts are tracking back through Michael Smith. Had to come outside because he would have been in offside position. The ball was played through to the goalkeeper before Hearts could get anybody moving forward. I suppose the good news for Hearts from their point of view is they've not conceded again since the 4th minute. There's been a trio of chances. Quite amazed that Luka Jovic isn't on the score sheet.
Yeah, there's been some signs of life in the last 5 minutes though from Hearts.
Kurami watches the ball come from his goalkeeper, headed out of play by Andy Halliday. And Hearts will concede the throw. Prior to the loss in Istanbul, Fiorentina had beaten in the last 5 away European fixtures. A real blip in Istanbul. Makoni was sent off in that game, and I mentioned the goalkeeper, the nightmare. Sapanara tries to run forward down the left-hand side. It's launched just too far in front of him. He takes some dog's abuse, and the Hearts fans haven't forgiven him for his rolling around. And Kingsley has the edge of the 6-yard box. Ball gets played forward. Hearts, as you may have heard, being urged to go forward. Apologies if you heard language of an industrial nature. As the ball comes out onto this near side and launched back by Terzic onto Galini. Galini steps from his goal back inside onto Quarta. Quarta right-footed. Amrabat. Quarta. Igor now. Hearts have dropped again. Ginelli saunters his way forward. Amrabat onto this near side over the halfway line. Kurami back to Quarta under pressure. Halliday and Kiermaier-Zoglu rather went to ground. A little bit careless, I felt, and the referee decided there wasn't a problem. Ball goes out of play. It's a throw into Fiorentina. 13th game of the season for them. 9 points from 8 games in the league. They've won 3 matches. They won their first 2 games. So since then, just a single win, Verona. But they lead here at Tynecastle by 1-0 on BBC Radio Scotland. Quarta into the centre circle. Igor looks to step forward. Lovely little ball, the flag will go up. Jovic, Sapanara just responded, got the ball in, turned his body, flicked it out wide to the left-hand side, but Jovic, the Bosnian Serb, just went a little bit too early on that occasion. Long it comes, over the halfway line, looking for Barry Mackay, too easy for Terzic. Amrabat will gather again, his bright orange boots back to Galini. I think he's worth charging down the goalkeeper with some of his exploits. Plays the ball out wide to Baraghi, the left full-back position. Ball breaks off George Grant up near the halfway line. Kiermaier-Zoglu will gather, he'll flick it out wide looking for Ginelli. Ginelli takes a touch and the ball gets knocked against the goal scorer, Mandragora. And Mandragora just knocks it out of play. Hearts have barely been inside the Fiorentina half for any sustained, even 30, 60 seconds. Yeah,
I mean, you know, I'd hoped to see Ginelli running in behind and Barry Mackay running in behind, but they've been so deep as part of a sort of 5-4-1 that they haven't been able to get in touch with Lawrence Shanklin.
Mackay, long ball hooked to that far side. Grant runs after it and is immediately given offside on that far side. The assistant referee just being coached by some of the Hearts fans into the finer points of the offside law. Personally, my money's on the assistant referee. I think he got that one just right. There's going to be a free kick for Fiorentina. Then against Scott's side for the 7th time. They've won 3, drawn 2. They've lost only 1 in 69 against Celtic. 3-0 on that occasion. Quarta inside his own half. Terzic, the right fullback, all the way back inside the area to the goalkeeper. Pierluigi Galini sends it long onto that far side. Sapanara tries to take a little spin away past Lewis Nielsen. He did keep the ball in. Nielsen then had to play it, but the flag eventually goes up to say it was out initially. Sapanara on that far side. Alan, just be quite happy to get Hearts to half-time at the moment.
Yeah, I think if they go on 1-0 down, they'll be very, very fortunate, Paul. I don't know what the possession stats will be, but Hearts will be lucky if they've had 25-26% of the ball, if you're lucky. They've had Fiorentina, must have had half a dozen efforts at goal. Jovic himself could have scored a hat-trick. They're 1-0 down. I think Robbie gets up to half-time and then has a word with him, tries to... I think they've got to engage, I really do. I think they've got to move on 10 yards, every single player. And may as well have a go. Let's have a right go.
For me, it's about aggression as well. There hasn't been a tackle in this half up to this point where Hearts supporters have got close and actually left something on one of the Fiorentina players. So they need to, no matter where your block is, you need to play with aggression. when you engage, and they haven't done that.
And you know what a heavy tackle does, Craig, to the crowd?
Oh, they love it. It's almost better than a goal.
Kierbos Rockley plays a little ball on the inside. Shanklin gets away from his man outside the 6-yard box. 3 jerseys around him. Plays it back out to Ginnelly. In it comes. It's deflected. It's going to be picked up by Mackay, but Mackay can't make the challenge. He wanted to bring the ball down. It's brought away by Kouame. Kudos to Alan Preston, by the way. Reckon Hearts had a 25-26% possession. It was 27% possession. So,
Alan, come on.
Sorry, Craig, I was out by that one. Must do better.
All about accuracy. As the ball gets played forward on that far side. Igor trying to come, takes a little touch. Amrabat has been almost a persistent presence alongside the 2 centre halves. Now Quarter plays the long ball. Jovic waits for it. Little header back comes in from Lewis Nielsen as Mandragara had come through the middle. Simple little header back. Lewis Nielsen did pretty well there.
It wasn't simple, trust me. That was showed great composure there, actually.
He's offside.
Mackay plays it through
Brilliant.
to Ginnelly.
But that's what we should be
great.
looking for.
But you can see that. But when it's moved on, Ginnelly's already away. He's got to bide his run. He's got to run along the line and then in. He just goes straight in.
The run was too direct. You're right. But the actual movement for me of Mackay and then Ginnelly been high enough up the field to actually run in behind.
From Derek Ferguson at half-time, his thoughts on this game. I'm Preston Craig Levine alongside me here as Fiorentina again come forward. Kouame, a little knock back inside the 6-yard box. Will come back to him. Hearts don't clear. That's terrible from Kingsley. Back to Kouame, who just flips himself over and fires the ball into the back of the net. Hearts in all sorts of European trouble. Hearts 0, Fiorentina 2.
And it's a class finish, you've got to say. But Hearts again don't defend properly. It's a case of, again, no centre halves that they've got in there, natural centre halves, poor defending, take nothing away from Kouame. It's a wonderful finish, hitch kick, put his right foot into the ground, giving Craig Gordon no chance.
No, there wasn't any decisiveness at all. I think it was 3 attempted clearances, and the ball remained inside the box, and it dropped to Kouame, and it was a spectacular goal. He didn't pick it, but and Craig Gordon had no chance. I mean, what was it, penalty spot, or maybe even closer to goal? This is the last thing that Hearts needed, was to lose that second goal. I thought if they got in at 1-0 down at half time, then maybe they could have had a real go in the second half, but this makes it much more difficult.
And 7 days from now, Hearts have to travel to Florence and face Fiorentina once more. And if Hearts lose here tonight, obviously they've got to go away and do something. They can't rely on Fiorentina tripping up against Riga again. Hearts just want to keep the group alive so that when they go to Istanbul for the final game, they want Istanbul through. And Hearts needing points. Picked up in the midfield again. The white-shirted Fiorentina side. Amrabat had it so easy, working so hard, but not under a great deal of pressure. Out wide again. Saponara on that far side. Little ball back inside looking for Bonaventura. Grant comes in, gets taken out. Showed good appetite to get in there. Terzic again kicks the ball away as Hearts try to take it quickly. Wouldn't have mattered. Grant remained on the ground. He took a bit of a sore one. And Hearts continue to trail by 2-0. Chiellini has not been troubled at all in the Fiorentina goal. And Craig Gordon, we've seen the ball whistle past him twice. Now long on the angle. Smith gets the header back inside, but Mandragara will gather. And he can bring the ball away. Bonaventura, centre circle, came off his hand. The referee decided it's a free kick. And I'm slightly surprised that Alex Cochrane didn't kick it off him, because Bonaventura was in a little bit of trouble. He hadn't retreated. And that's normally one where you just pop the ball off your opponent and see what the referee did. Hearts have the free kick out wide onto Halliday, turned back inside onto Alex Cochrane. Cochrane takes the touch away from Kouame. Now it comes wide. Shanklin onto Mackay. Wide on this left-hand side, plays the ball across onto Halliday. Halliday steps away from Mandragara. Now it's played through. Grant tries to get Shanklin. Shanklin made the run, but it was well watched. Baraghi coming into that left full-back position. There'll be 2 additional minutes to be played. Halliday goes in on Kouame. Kouame hits the deck. And it will be a free kick. And Fiorentina are enjoying these surroundings at Tynecastle at the moment. And they'll take their time, they'll step forward. It's going to be a very content Italian dressing room at the half-time. It's an Italian side. They've not won away since April 2022. They beat Napoli by 3-2, 12 unsuccessful trips on their travels. Unlucky 13 at the moment as it stands. Now here's a chance for Galini to send the ball forward. Remember, Hearts in the last couple of home games have been defeated by 4-0. Hearts haven't actually scored in the last 3 home games, conceding 9 goals. Kilmarnock, Istanbul, Başak Şehir and Rangers. Ball out wide on that left-hand side. Jovic into the middle. Bonaventura was looking for it. The header will come back just at the edge of the area inside. It comes on a touch of Craig Gordon with a save. Mandragora came across the 6-yard box, flicked it towards goal, and Craig Gordon held it.
I'll tell you, Cochrane was lucky there. He was caught on his heels, and player's got a cross in front of him, got a good foot on it, and to be fair to Craig Gordon, that's a wonderful stop.
Hearts coming forward, looking to get a shot on target before the interval. Mackay to Halliday. Halliday hooks it into the area. Ball might break for Ginnelli. Ginnelli's away for his man. Chance Galini with a save. Mandragora at the edge of the area sweeps it away. It was the chance that Hearts had been begging for, but Galini made the save. Hearts come again. The ball deflected. Mandragora. Hearts are going to have a corner before the half finishes. There's 15 seconds of the 2 minutes to be added left.
I think he's got to score, Craig. Has to score there. I think he could have actually gone down. I thought the defender had a desperate lunge at him as well. But he goes through.
He did, Alan. And if he'd gone down, he'd have got a penalty.
Yep.
For sure. Stayed on his feet. And the goalkeeper, you have to credit the goalkeeper. He's hit the target.
Corner for Hearts. Nielsen, it goes over his head, and that will allow the referee to blow the whistle. Well, it's not been a good first half from Hearts. Behind after 4 minutes. Mandragora with the goal. And then 3 minutes from the half, Christian Kouame needed his first European goal for Fiorentina. Craig Gordon with no chance. Josh Ginnelli in with the boys. He did get touched, but he stayed on his feet, got the shot away. Pierluigi Galini made the save. Half-time at Tynecastle in Europa Conference League. Hearts 0, Fiorentina 2.
Hearts in the Europa Conference League.
Live on Sports Sound from BBC Radio Scotland.
There's no substitute. Trophies, medals, winning. We love it. But sport is so much more than that.
It's unleashing potential.
Making people smile.
Healthy body, healthy mind.
Through boxing, running,
swimming,
whatever it may be.
It's priceless. And that's
why we do
what we do.
At community sports clubs all over the country, there are amazing volunteers. Let's celebrate them. Nominate your unsung hero. Go to bbc.co.uk/unsung hero. Nominations close on Sunday, the 30th of October.
This is Sports Sound here on BBC Radio Scotland on 810 medium wave, on digital, online, bbc.co.uk/Sports Scotland, and at BBC Radio Scotland Extra on your smart speaker. Half-time at Tynecastle doesn't make good reading. It's been a bad week, folks, as far as the Scottish club sides and European action's concerned. Heart of Midlothian 0, Fiorentina 2. The early goal from Mandragora, and then Kouame scoring 3 minutes from the end of the 45. To compound Hearts' woes, a goal early and a goal late in the first half. 0-0 it remains at the National Stadium. Almost on the hour mark there, Scotland's women's side taking on Austria in their playoff first round match at the National Stadium in the rain. Ailey Davis can bring us up to date with what's going on there. It is goalless, Ailey, but it's, from what I can see anyway, relatively even.
Yeah, finely poised at the moment. It's about 59 minutes gone here at Hampden. Scotland 0, Austria 0. Scotland with plenty of half chances, maybe not that many clear chances, and really the final ball letting them down. And Austria starting this match very well, the brighter of the two sides. Their dangerous looking striker Nicole Bila with an excellent strike from 25 yards, and that one just going over the bar, and Hickelsberg too, a shot from about 20 yards, and that just skimming the bar as well. Scotland though, as I say, half chances. Martha Thomas, a half decent opportunity, looked to be in on goal, trying to round Zinberger in the Austrian goal, but Zinberger somehow managing to get back. Caroline Weir 2. A couple of decent efforts, but both safely into the hands of Zinsberger in the end. Sam Kerr with a nice ball into Claire Emsley right in the box, and I don't think she realised how much time she had, and she hit the ball way too high, and in the end it was Zinsberger again collecting that one into the second half. Just the one change for Scotland. Fiona Brown has come on for Lana Cleland, and Finsberger this time for the Austrians, really not far away at all. Scotland, though, trying to keep the momentum up, and you just wonder, I don't know if it's a confidence thing or what, is the occasion getting to them, but let's hope that the crowd can get behind them, and Scotland can get something out of this game. Hugely important, as we know, the prize huge at the end of this. I know there's a couple of challenges to go after this one, but it'd be great for them to get the win tonight. But as it stands, it's Scotland 0, Austria 0.
Thanks, Ailey. The winner plays Ireland next Tuesday in the playoff second, and Austria have a free kick in the edge of the box, which has been taken. Lee Gibson's conceded the corner on that one. Coverage continuing on BBC Alapa just now if you want to dip into that. Red button English commentary option for you as well. In the main here on Sports Sound tonight on the radio, we've been watching Hearts take on Fiorentina. 2-0 down to the Italians. The other game in the group in Riga's RFS 0, Istanbul Başakşehir 0. The other game in Group A. Earlier it was Anderlecht 0, West Ham United 1. Good win for Davy Moyes' side. Skamaka goal is the difference there. Silkeborg 5, Steaua Bucharest 0 in the other game in that group. And earlier as well in the Europa League, it was Manchester United winning against Neil Lennon's Omonia Nicosia in Cyprus 3-2. It was a tough old game that Lennon's side gave them, it has to be said. In the end up, Arsenal are in Group A of Europa League, 2-0 up on Bodø Glimt, the Norwegians, the double back-to-back Norwegian champions who knocked Celtic out of the Conference League last season. But Arsenal are 2-0 up in that game. Kieran Tierney set up the first of the Gunners' goals this evening. But as I say, in the main, we are talking about this game at Tynecastle. Derek Ferguson will give the guys a little bit of a breather just now ahead of the second half. The early goal, that has set the tone for the game quite clearly. But the one thing that you were saying to me repeatedly throughout that first half was, get into them, have a go at them.
Yeah.
And it took, I think, till 31 minutes when we heard Alan voice his opinion about that. I think Hearts had their first go at the goalkeeper, chased him down. There was a little bit of panic in the Fiorentina defence, but it took a long time for that to happen.
Yeah, in that first press, and it did take 31 minutes, and you could see the reaction of the fans who got behind the side. And where was that? Right now, you go to Tynecastle, and you've got a team that have struggled away from home. Yeah, and we're talking about they're playing in the Serie A, but they're coming here. It's not the best of night, so try and make them feel uncomfortable. And for me, Hearts did the exact opposite. They let them get into a groove. Yeah, they get the goal, they get their noses in front, and from then on, I thought it might spark Hearts, and a bit of a kind of way of getting in about them, but they didn't. They sat off them. The one thing you've got to do when you could say, yeah, are they better players? Are they technically? They might be so, but trying with a bit of energy, a bit of aggressiveness, make them feel that uncomfortable, getting about them, and they haven't done anything. And it's been a hard watch, I've got to be honest with you. We're watching some of the goals here. The boy Kovic could have had a hat-trick as well. And the one as well after 20 minutes, the boy Igor was playing at the back. He just strolls forward about 20-30 yards and he's got a free hit at goal. Craig Gordon pulls off a magnificent save, I've got to say, but I think that you've got to start quick, you've got to start fast, aggressive, get after them. They didn't do anything. It's as if the players look unsure of the tactics. But
Mandragora's got a free header there.
Yeah.
In the the fourth minute of the game.
Yeah.
Free header. He's an Italy international. You've got to keep an eye on these guys. You've
got to get close to them. And Hearts aren't getting close enough to any of the players, all over the park. And I'm not saying go and kick them, because obviously bring boots, but at least make sure your presence is felt. Give them a little dunt here and there. make them feel, and I keep saying this word, make them feel uncomfortable. But Hearts have allowed this team, Fiorentina, to get into a groove, to feel comfortable. They're strutting about, striking the ball here, there and everywhere with ease. And it's far too easy all over the park.
Sorry, the second goal, we're watching that just now. It's a horrible one for Alex Cochrane, because he's lost his man just momentarily. He then realises, just as he's about to hit it, he realises, wait a minute, I'm meant to be marking him. It's Kiwami, spectacular finish as it was. He's got way too much time because Cochrane's not on the ball. Yeah, and the ball just flicks up into the air. And for that second, Cochrane switches off. That's all it takes, isn't it?
Kiwami doesn't. He reacts. He sees it, and it's a fantastic finish. But that's been the story of the night. You know, again, not getting close enough to your man, not making your presence felt, and all too often, you know, Hearts have been up the park 2 or 3 times. I just think tactically the players don't look sure of what they're doing. I think Robbie's got to let them off the leash a little bit in terms of let them get after this side, because if they don't, you can only see one thing happening, is this side, Fiorentina, scoring another 2 or 3 goals. I'm so surprised at the start. We always say all the time, the great atmosphere, what a great atmosphere it is at Tynecastle, but you need to give the fans something, and the players gave them absolutely nothing that first half.
That just takes the wind out the sails. The fact
took the wind out of my sails.
Yeah, he has been. He's not been impressed at all. As Derek, Alan and Craig are still with us, ready for the second half. Let's hope Hearts can get something back into this game, make it a contest. There may well have to be changes, because there was practically no midfield at all there, and you're kind of looking at this match. Perhaps Cammy Devlin, it's like crying out for a Cammy Devlin, someone like that who does play in the edge. We saw that at the weekend. Sometimes it can spill over in an illegal manner, but it's the kind of game that they probably could be doing with him. And as well, Alan and Craig, there was the TV pictures showed at one point sitting in the stand Beningame, Boyce, Halkett, Rolls, all of whom you would have thought would have started had they been fit tonight. And again, that does underline that Hearts do have issues, and they've got that soft centre just now. You were touching on it during the match, and that they don't have a centre back really on the pitch tonight in a game that you need one.
Yeah, and against good players, you know, and I think that's why it's a back 5, is to protect the centre backs, in all honesty. But I mean, I think things will change now. Quite often when you set out a game plan, you've worked on it, you rely on the players engaging, being aggressive, making contact when that point to engage is chosen. And that just hasn't happened. Hearts haven't done it. And all that's happened is that they've brought Ginnelly back into a deeper position on one side. They brought Mackay back into a deeper position on the other side. And when the ball does go forward, they're too deep to get up to support. And there's been that one press by Cochrane. Then there was a situation after that where they put a ball in the box and it wasn't cleared properly, and the ball fell to Ginnelly, didn't it? And he's hit the ball from a tight angle. But that was one of the occasions, one I can remember, where Hearts had played reasonably high up the field. And I think they have to do much, much more of that to get the crowd up on their feet and get them making a noise and try and get the Italians feeling that they're in a game.
Yeah, Alan, what are you...
I think it's Liam, it's a difficult one. Technically, they're a much better side. They're a really good side. Yes, they're not on the best of times of it, but doesn't stop them from overnight becoming a really bad side. And they've been great tonight. They've been excellent, but they've been allowed to play. It's been like a training game for them, if the truth be known. It's waves of attack. Hearts get the ball, take 2 or 3 touches, lose it, then Hearts drop back into their shape, and then they get the ball back, and then they come forward and have an effort at goal again. And that's the way it's been. You know, Hearts need to engage higher up the park if they can. Go and have a go. It's all about getting experience at this level for them. With the exception of Craig Gordon, there's not many got European experience. So go and you've tried it in the first half. You've sat back, it's not been successful. You're 2-0 down. The game's done as we sit. And if they don't change something, it's only going to get worse. So why not at least have a go? Give the fans something to shout about. And then if you come off getting beat 3-1, 4-1, at least you've had a go. Because at the moment, they've not, as Derek said, there's not been one glove laid on them. Not anywhere in that opening 45 minutes.
It's been quite a sobering...
I agree.
Yeah, sorry, Craig.
Yeah, I agree completely. And my point earlier on during that half was that it will probably take till half-time for there to be a change. Now, I'd be hugely surprised if Hearts come out in the second half and play in the same manner or play a low block. They must take some chances. They must release their wing backs. At times they might even release a centre back. Kingsley's really good at travelling with the ball. We haven't seen him do any of that this evening. So there's a lot of players there who are, I mean, for Nielsen's, the best part of Nielsen's games is use of the ball. He hasn't been anywhere near the halfway line, never mind playing in the opposition's half. So there'll have to be much more bravery shown from the Hearts team in the second half. And if they do that, they will get the support of the supporters.
The worrying thing from a Hearts point of view is that it should be more than 2-0. It's similar to what we saw at Anfield with Rangers the other night. It should have been... Luka Jovic should have had at least two goals. Right. The two headers in particular. Now, this is the guy who scored against Scotland late on in the Euro 2020 playoff final. He was the guy who took it to extra time from the corner in the last minute, I think it was. So it's not like we need any reminder about what he can do. But again, this is a very expensive player. He's on loan from Real Madrid. He's scoring a lot of goals for Serbia just now as well with Mitrovic. And it could be worse. It could be worse. Hearts could be well beaten by now. Yeah, and guys like Govic, who you're talking about, they're clever. They just make that yard or two in the box. But what I'm talking about is just overall, all over the park, right from the get-go. I really did, to get after Fiorentina. And I'm not saying they could, obviously, even if it was for 10-15 minutes, just to get the crowd going. Get in contact with them, press them, make them maybe hit the ball out of the park, just to get the fans behind you, but they've done nothing of the sort. Sounds as though the teams are making their way back out onto the pitch. We will maybe touch on this after full time. We have the two games going on, still 0-0 at Hampden between Scotland's women and Austria. 19 minutes left of 90 minutes extra time as it stands right now for that one. We'll maybe touch on Jim Goodwin as well, because this evening, just as that first half was going on, Aberdeen have released a statement in reaction to Jim Goodwin's 8-game ban that he was handed for his comments post-match at Easter Road about Ryan Porteous. We will get to that perhaps after we're done at Tynecastle. Let's hope Hearts can do something in the second half to give their fans something to shout about. Second half about to get underway. They trail Fiorentina 2-0. It's back to Alan, Craig and Paul.
Thank you, Liam. All Hearts have at the moment. It's Hope coming into tonight. No home side had scored in the last 4 games Hearts have taken part in, and no away side had scored in the last 3 games that Fiorentina had taken part in. But it's the away side who have been on the score sheet tonight through those 2 goals. And Hearts now have it all to do. Underway the start of the second half. There is a change. We'll get the details in a moment from Brian McLaughlin as Hearts come forward. Pierre Murzoglu out onto that far side against Mackay. Mackay's away from his man. He's into the area, tries to cut the ball back. Baraghi from the edge of the 6-yard box gets the ball away. Bonaventura will gather. He'll try to loop it high up down that right-hand side for Kouame, and it's going to be knocked away by Cochrane. Brian McLaughlin has details of the change.
Yeah, straight change at the back for Fiorentina. Igor has been replaced. His replacement is not a bad player, Nikola Milinkovic.
Yeah, he's pretty decent, isn't he? Partizan Belgrade, Serbian international since 2016. Played in the World Cup in 2018. And he's pretty good to come on. Milinkovic is at the back. Hearts on the block from Baraghi there. And already, Craig Levine, you sense that better sense of energy amongst the Hearts players.
Yeah, there is. There's more intent to attack. We see that from the very first moments of this half. I just hope that it continues.
So Milinkovic on that, the only change so far in the game. Hearts have the ball through Kingsley. Kingsley sends it long. Baraghi will watch that just drop out of play. It's Collini in goal for the visitors. Terzic, Quadra, Milinkovic and Baraghi the back 4. Bonaventura, Mandragora and Amrabat in the midfield. Kouame, Saponara either side of Jovic in the middle. He should have had a hat-trick in this game, and he's not on the score sheet. Amrabat plays the ball forward. Hearts all in maroon this evening. Head the ball forward up towards Josh Ginnelly. Ginnelly gets there ahead of his man. Quarta had come out wide. Ginnelly now stands, goes to the byline, gets the cross in. Any takers at the back. It's Andy Halliday. Gets the shot away on the volley, but it's well wide, it's well high. And Andy Halliday still seeks his first European goal.
That's a really good ball in by Ginnelly. I thought he was going to play it in first time, but he rightly delayed a bit because it was only Shanklin in the box, allowing players to get forward and in. Plays in a really good ball. Sets up lovely for Halliday on his left foot. Just leaning back over the top of the crossbar, but much better even in that opening couple of minutes.
Sent long through the middle. Jovic, who had his jersey.
That could be a red card.
Well, the referee's going to give it now. The ball has come all the way through, and it is the red card has come for Lewis Nielsen, and he is ordered off. He had a hand on the jersey. You could see the jersey pull back. I think the ball was going through to the goalkeeper anyway, but Lewis Nielsen joins Aguiar, Brelier, McCann and Grant as players ordered off in the maroon of Hearts. And despite the bright start, well, the light at the end of the tunnel was that of the onrushing train. The darkness is back and Lewis Nielsen is off. Brian McLaughlin, you've seen it again.
Yeah, he had his arm round his waist to start with. The striker was getting away, he just pulled the shirt back, and the referee had no option actually to give him a second yellow card and then a red.
So he's gone, and Hearts, well, it's hard to think out it's going to get much worse. Well, we could guess if they score from the free kick, the Italian side, but Nielsen is ordered off, and Hearts in a whole heap of trouble. Rolls is unavailable, Halkett's unavailable, and Nielsen was arguably the only centre-half Hearts had on the field.
He was the only centre-back they had in the field, and now they don't have any.
Well, Bonaventura is certainly one of the options, but Aggie is the other. And Hearts have not marked up particularly well. In fact, they have now. So just outside the D to the left-hand side, Bonaventura up against Craig Gordon. 20 years a Hearts player. It's Baraghi who strikes it up off the wall, goes behind. It's a corner kick. Alan Preston, your thoughts?
That's a red card. You know, it could have been a straight red in the first place. You know, I know it's a second yellow, then a red, but it could have been a straight red for him. It's just an early kick for the goalkeeper. Jovic has identified it as he's one-on-one with a young guy. Nielsen's wrong side of him. You know, a bit of naive defending by the kid. He will learn from it hopefully because he's a good player, but wrong side, tugs the jersey, no arguments from me.
Corner comes in with a header again, Kwame. Dangerous in coming at the post, driving across, and Hearts get away with it again. It's almost, Craig Levine, you could pick a number here at the moment.
Yeah, Craig Gordon's going to have to be good in this second half. This is infuriating for him, and Robbie will be.
So they've now gone to a 4 while it sits. So it'll be Halliday and Smith as the fullbacks, and then you've got. But then, which I don't like, you've got two lefties at centre half.
Yeah.
But there's no other option.
Just to confirm, it was a straight red card. He wasn't booked in the first half. Okay. It was Kingsley.
Yeah, I thought that.
Yeah, straight red. And the referee decides to give Hearts a free kick as the long ball came forward there. But Hearts again in Europe down to 10 men. And they will get the chance here. But any thoughts they had? It was a nice bright start from Hearts as well.
Paul, and the Hearts sending offs this year have been different. You know, the Grant one against Zurich was just crazy. You know, diving at the wrong time for a second yellow. The one on Saturday with Devlin was just ridiculous. That tonight is going to. The young guy will learn for that. You know, that's a genuine mistake. The other two not.
I mean, he needs to learn from that. I mean, for me, as soon as they decide to play higher up the field, the more you have to play on the back foot. And Nielsen got caught underneath the ball a little bit. He was too much on the front foot, which is fine when you're playing deeper. And for me, that was something that you're right. He will learn from that because he's paid the ultimate price, hasn't he? He's been sent off. He's cost his team. Well, I think his team were out of it anyway. But at the same time, he certainly extinguished any hope that Hearts would have of getting back into this match.
Quarta sends the ball offside. Kwame comes across. The flag eventually goes up. He was offside.
Give me the old days when you're offside and the flag just goes up right away.
Yeah, there is no VAR in this one, so the flag up right away would be the right thing to do. And as Craig Gordon steps from his goal, and just trying to organise things, drops it short. onto Halliday. Halliday back inside onto Cochrane. And that's sent long, not even had a chance to give you the Hearts team. This is Craig Gordon in goal. It's Smith, Kingsley, Cochrane and Halliday. Kirmortzoglu, Grant, Ginelli, Shanklin and Mackay. And Amrabat started the move all the way forward to Saponara. Saponara played the ball in and Hearts deflect it behind for a corner. You can almost sense the depression that's around Tynecastle.
I know, and here's another situation, a set piece where Hearts' biggest player has just been sent off, and you know we're lamenting the lack of height, and this is going to make it even worse.
2v1 outside.
Amrabat swings the ball in, it's deep, and Ginelli is being manhandled inside the 6-yard box, and Hearts will get a free kick there. Hearts are considering changes, and Brian McLaughlin will bring us the details.
Yeah, there'll be a couple of changes made. Robbie Nielsen has now come to the bench. Stephen Humphreys is one of the players coming on, as is Cammy Devlin. The players being replaced, George Grant, and maybe surprisingly, Lawrence Shanklin.
Well, the change is being made. Alan, are you surprised Lawrence Shanklin's gone?
No, I'm not, because the game's done. They've got one striker and then they've got Humphreys, who's on loan from Wigan. You've got to keep Lawrence Shanklin. We've got a game on Sunday. Robbie's now got to think about that. This game's done, Paul. Hearts are not going to get anything out of this game. Look to the next game. Make sure your striker that has been scoring goals in the league is off and he's safe for the game on Sunday.
So Stephen Humphreys off the bench in Europe for the 3rd time as Hearts make those changes. And you can really feel the sense of disappointment around this stadium. Hearts go to Fiorentina next week, then Riga will come here, and then the opportunity to go to Istanbul. But Hearts had so many high hopes for tonight. The ball is back inside their penalty box. Cochrane out to Halliday, back onto Cochrane. Cochrane sends it long on the angle, looking for Ginelli. Quarta gathers. Amrabat will flick the ball back to Baraghi. Baraghi just at the edge of his own area, takes the touch, moves out to the left-hand side, closed down by Humphreys. Saponara will gather, plays it back to Baraghi. Humphreys tries to close him down, long to the halfway line. Little header inside by Devlin. Saponara wins that header into the centre circle. Bonaventura, that overhead kick, plays the ball forward. Kirmortzoglu for Hearts tries to come forward, but he's robbed. Amrabat. Mandragora. Lovely little switch ball from left to right. Kwame was waiting for it. The ball is headed behind for a corner, and the Hearts fans wanted offside. Wasn't coming. Andy Halliday had to come across and pop that ball behind. It remains Hearts 0, Fiorentina 2, and more work coming up for Craig Gordon.
You just hope that Fiorentina now take their time. You know, if I'm Robbie Nielsen, I'd sign off right now for 2-0.
Yeah, not pretty at the moment. The coach, Vincenzo Italiano, will be happy from a midfield player.
Into the box now.
Genoa. And the corner was not taken properly according to the assistant. Hearts, there's two.
Still got to watch it. It's going to come out to the edge of the box.
Yeah, there's 2 Fiorentina players by the corner. There's 2 standing outside the area. Hearts have got everybody back inside the box. Bar Barry Mackay's trying to close down the corner. Here it comes. The ball swung into the middle. Again, there's a jersey being held. As Saponara watches as the header goes over the crossbar. Quarta was the player that got in there. And again, the Hearts goal, there's nobody up there to compete with that header.
It was actually Devlin that was on him. Smallest guy in the pitch.
And he also had to hold his jersey, Alan, as well.
Ginelli up at the edge of the area. 4 Fiorentina players round him. Gathers now into Jovic. Jovic has Kwame one side, Bonaventura the other. Goes down. Kirmortzoglu is going to see a yellow card. Just hauled him down there. There was no finesse in that. Just took him down to 1 for the team.
And I get the referees averaging 5 yellows a game, but that's the most obvious one you'll ever see.
Yeah, absolutely no complaints.
He had his hand round his neck, didn't he? And pulled him to the ground.
Yeah, just made no mistake that he was bringing him down. A little bit on the high side. But Hearts under pressure again. Amrabat onto Jovic. Jovic lays the ball back. Opportunity to play it across from Terzic. Serbian international player. Quarta gathers left-hand side inside the Hearts half. Looks ahead to see what his options are. Hearts sitting everybody back behind the ball. Now Bonaventura will gather. Classy player in the midfield, 33 years old Bonaventura. Now forward onto Kwame. Kwame all the way back. Milinkovic. It'll come out wide again. Quarter takes the touch back inside, and again Amrabat. He's the out ball all the time. He sits in between the two centre halves. Now out wide, Terzic. Milinkovic all the way back to the goalkeeper. Amrabat will come and pick up once more as well. Hearts trailing by 2-0. And Hearts, well, it's been tough going. Here's Baraghi moving up towards the edge of the area. Baraghi, Saponara, Mandragora, off onto Bonaventura. He lets fly from the edge of the area. Not a noted goal scorer, it has to be said. It thumps that one high and up and over the top.
Yeah, you know, there's Michael Smith stretching away again. Left calf, left hamstring. It's going to be a long 25 minutes for him.
Well, we talk about players that are on the bench. I mean, Toby Civic, but he's not really a man in form, is he?
No, he's not covered himself in glory since he signed for Hearts, and he's got 3 years to go as well. You know, you would think that when you've got two players, a left wing back and a left back playing at centre half, and you've got Civic, who is a centre back, not getting a game, that tells you it all.
Alan, would you maybe give some of the young lads a little bit of experience?
Yeah. Connor Smith's come on before you and Henderson, but now that all they need, Craig, up front, and Humphreys as a willing runner, as a lone striker, he'll just run about.
Well, Henderson could do the same.
Henderson could do the same, so I wouldn't bring him up, but you maybe think about Connor Smith, giving him a bit of experience. But
you need to try and get something out of it, don't
but
you?
at this level, Craig, none of them have got European experience, really, with the exception of Craig Gordon. So whoever you bring on is going to give them experience at this level. You know, against a really good side, you're down to 10 men, you're struggling. Michael Smith's, down injured. Big game for them. Atkinson is one. Looks like Atkinson's coming on to replace him.
Yeah, that's the change that is being made. So Michael Smith's evening is over. Well, Hearts having to reshuffle the back line yet again. Nathan Atkinson, the Aussie international player, comes across made his international debut this year, and now comes on into another reshuffle of the Hearts back line. Just watching some of the body language of the players, you've got to remember they're going to be facing these guys again in a week, so you don't want to show too much weakness. Ball played through to the edge of the Fiorentina area, leading by 2-0. Still no goals between Scotland and Austria in the World Cup playoff qualifier. Nearly an hour gone here at Tynecastle. Amrabat plays the ball forward, picked up by Jovic, centre circle, chipped the ball out wide onto Kouame. Kouame having the best of seasons, but scored his goal well, but returns it to Jovic at the edge of the area, pushed through the opportunity to play it across, and Craig Gordon will drop onto the ball. The Fiorentina player Terzic has gone all the way through into the advertising boards, and that's what's going to cause a stoppage here. You can see the dent in the electronic boards. Cammy Devlin goes across to check him. As on come the medical staff racing across. The player.
He's all right.
He's sitting up. He's okay.
Yeah, it's fine.
I don't know how heavy these electronic boards are, but you still wouldn't want to run into them.
You wouldn't want to headbutt one, which is, I think, what he did. He slid off the pitch and his head hit the boards round the pitch.
So he gets himself back up. He's okay, which is good news. And the opportunity for Hearts to get things moving.
You think with this result, Craig, it's going to happen tonight, going to Fiorentina next week, the likelihood of beating them is very, very small. Does Robbie then concentrate on the league as of tonight, from tonight? Because that's what will get them back into this competition, or Europe anyway. So does he then prioritise Kilmarnock Sunday, and then even after?
I would imagine so. The thing is, though, of course, that he's got that many players out injured already. And he's in it. How's he going to put together a back line for the weekend? That's the difficulty for him.
Yeah.
Well, Hearts would love to see Halker rolls back, that's for sure. Ball's in the midfield.
I think Hearts will get a lot better after the World Cup. They'll have Beningame back, they'll have Rowells back, guys like that. They'll have Halkett back hopefully as well.
Yeah, and it would look so different to this, wouldn't it?
Completely.
Guillermo Zogler back to Craig Gordon. Gordon stands in the D, gets the ball forward, looks for Humphreys. Humphreys loses out though. Milinkovic does well, and then the ball runs out of play on that far side. Well, it's been tough going for these Hearts fans in Europe this season. No goals against Zurich here, no goals against Istanbul, no goals now against Fiorentina. A little bit of a goal drought going on. Hearts have lost 5 of the last 6 home European games. It's not been particularly pleasant tonight. Cavanara on the outside, plays it to the edge of the area. Biraghi gets the ball in, Craig Gordon comes across, takes it. Kouame was coming into the 6-yard box, but Craig Gordon got there, bowls the ball out wide. Onto Barry Mackay. Mackay takes it past Terzic. Oh, it races past him. Terzic's trying to come back. Mackay cuts inside. Amrabat, almost omnipresent this evening, comes across to help the fullback, doesn't run the ball out of play, plays it out wide, back onto Terzic, and Terzic gets the ball away. Kouame, lovely ball into Jovic. Jovic with a head flick on, looking for an awful lot from the man from the Ivory Coast to try and race through, and Hearts have it again. And even when Hearts, Craig, press forward, you can see how quickly that Fiorentina want to go.
Yeah, I mean, you almost hope that Fiorentina just take their foot off the gas, that the game's won, and they don't really be as ruthless as they might be if they were in great form. You know, if they were flying at this minute in time, I'm sure they'd be trying home to press any advantage that they've got and get as many goals as they could, but they don't appear to be, and hopefully I'm not sort of jinxing Hearts here.
Lazio next up for the Italians as Humphrey goes past 2, 35 yards from goal, still going Stephen Humphrey, cuts inside, gets away from Amrabat, was forced just inside. Barry Mackay is there, he's 25 yards from goal, into the middle it goes. Ginelli plays the ball forward, chance, Atkinson shot, he was offside. Wouldn't have counted. Great save from the goalkeeper, but I saw the flag got just as he whirled round, got the ball away with the right boot. Good save, goalkeeper didn't know the flag was up, wouldn't have counted.
Great play by Humphreys. I thought he was Hearts' best player on Saturday against Rangers, and a poor performance really after the opening 25-30 minutes. I thought he was excellent, you know, worked really hard. It's very quick. Here he's again.
Opportunity to come right through the middle, though. Break wide onto Devlin. Devlin inside the area, cuts back to Mackay. Mackay is there, tries the shot, blocked. Terzic and Milinkovic doing well as Hearts get the ball away. Just a little bit loose that time, Fiorentina. The ball bouncing in the midfield, comes off Kio Mortoglu, and the ball is away. It will come up to the halfway line. Bonaventura under a little bit of pressure, that time from Halliday. Won't get the throw, but at least it's better from Hearts, and the crowd getting slightly into it. Hearts 0, Fiorentina 2, Hearts down to 10 men. Now the long ball forward. Oh, Cochrane's all over the place against Kouame. Kouame trying to get away from him, fouls him eventually. Kouame up at the edge of the area. That looked horrible from Alex Cochrane, wasn't quite sure where the ball was going to land, and with all sorts of problems there, Alan.
Yeah, it was all over the place. The ball, he seemed to completely miss it in there, and it bounced over him at a spell as well. You know, he's playing in an unfamiliar position for him, and yes, people will say it's only 15 yards in for where you normally play, but it's completely different. Completely different. Craig will tell you, as a terrific centre half, wouldn't have liked to go and play fullback.
No, I wouldn't have been much good at fullback. Too much running.
No, you have players that do that for you. Mandragora comes forward over the halfway line, out wide. Saponara cuts on the inside, trying to get away from Atkinson, lays the ball back onto Biraghi. Amrabat again, edge of the centre circle. Milinkovic will gather back to Amrabat, forward it goes. Bonaventura 30 yards from goal. Once more Saponara. Saponara turns, plays the ball back. Amrabat gathers, plays it out to the left hand side. They're just playing pretty patterns at the moment. Mandragora into the middle of the area, trying to work the 1-2. Little chance. Jovic gets away from his man, shot. Craig Gordon closed the legs, blocked it to get the ball away. The ball comes out wide. Biraghi into the middle. Kouame waits for it, takes a touch in the D, lays the ball back. Chance. Craig Gordon with a save. Terzic coming forward, 30-yard curling effort. Craig Gordon with the stop.
Yeah, I mean, you could argue that Fiorentina were better against Hearts 11 men than they have been against the 10.
Yep, they have been. It's as if they've taken their foot off the gas, Craig, to be honest. You know, I think they realise that the game's done. Save themselves for their game at the weekend.
Yeah, RFS are 0-0 with Istanbul at the moment. Well, that's actually not a good thing, because that might actually give Fiorentina some aspirations to win the group, never mind finishing second. Hearts play the ball out to Atkinson, up at the area, plays it out wide onto Ginelli. Ginelli goes wide, Saponara tries to go with him, Ginelli too slow, back to Atkinson. Atkinson a little drag back, Saponara does well, forces the ball back onto Devlin. Devlin with an awkward ball into the middle. Quarta easily away with his chest, some Hearts fans confusing that with his arm. And Jovic will gather now. Here's the opportunity. Bonaventura plays it through. Kouame coming in, and Halliday has to slide to get the ball back to his goalkeeper. Does so, and Craig Gordon sends the ball away over the halfway line. Picked up and played back inside. Fiorentina coming again. Bonaventura, a little touch and turn, works it. Saponari's up at the edge of the area, can play it out wide. Into the middle it goes, little deflection, it comes back into Craig Gordon. Well, Mandragora sent the ball across, and it broke off Kingsley back onto Jovic, and Jovic saw the ball go towards Craig Gordon. How Jovic isn't on the score sheet tonight is quite a mystery, as Atkinson gives the ball away. Into the middle it goes. Here's the opportunity, but Kingsley will step in ahead of Jovic once more.
I've got to say though, Paul, his overall play's been terrific. You know, his link up, his awareness of what's round about him, men running off him, where he is. He looks a top player. Oh, he is a top player. Real Madrid don't buy you for 60 million. They're not.
And yet, bizarrely, he's not started any of the European games up till now. Ball gets played back. He preferred Iconic. And playing Kouame as well. Saponara. As Amrabat gathers onto Bonaventura. Amrabat centre circle inside the Hearts half, forward onto Jovic. Cochrane bit early, was a bit fortunate, came off Bonaventura. Out wide onto Halliday. Halliday gives the ball away. So he picked up on that far side by Mackay. And Cochrane just outside his area, plays it forward past Devlin. Milinkovic will gather and play the ball back. 68 minutes gone. 22 long minutes from a Hearts perspective. 0-0 at Hampden. Extra time will beckon in that World Cup playoff game. Austria were always going to be tough opponents for the Scots.
So it'll be extra time, play somebody else, throw a double six. Yeah, honestly, it's ridiculous how they've got to try and qualify for a World Cup.
As long as you don't go past goal. That's the other thing. It's been ridiculous. I've actually watched quite a few of the games. Swedish side have played well. I did expect them to win tonight. They've been taken to extra time. Here's Devlin on to Humphreys. Humphreys goes down under the challenge of Quarta moves back. Hearts take the free kick quickly, and they're not organised to do so. Giannelli, that might have been a time just to try and get the ball into the area. Here's Giannelli on to Humphreys. Where's 29? Tries the turn, can't get away from Saponara, but Hearts will play the ball out wide. On to Devlin. Devlin inside to Humphreys, outside the area, back onto Devlin. Devlin swings the ball out onto that far side. Mackay is waiting there. Mackay trying to get into the area, can only find Terzic. Here Mortoglu tries to gather, and he just knocks the ball too far. Here Mortoglu just sends it too far. I didn't think him and Grant were the answer in the midfield together, I have to confess.
No, I've got to agree with you. I didn't either. I thought maybe Devlin with his energy in there. I don't think Grant, gets about the park as well as Devlin does. And Kurt Mortoglu looks a decent enough player, but I don't know if they work as a partnership.
And Alan, if you want to engage and be aggressive as we spoke about, Devlin's the man that you're guaranteed that from.
Baraghi to Bonaventura, 30 yards from goal. Kouame is out wide. Mackay has to go and mark him. Low ball driven into the box, away by Cochrane. Amrabat will gather, lays it off onto Terzic. Amrabat gathers again. Amrabat pushes it forward. Kouame back to Amrabat. You'll send it from right to left. Saponara will gather. Most popular figure around Tynecastle way. Amrabat, both with a shaved head and the dark beard. One in black boots, the other in orange. Played it forward. Milinkovic. And that will come against Cochrane. Cochrane plays it forward. It's on to Mackay, but Mackay overruns it. Amrabat comes across, steps up, takes the touch, plays the ball back inside, and gathered once more. Hearts' last 5 European matches, 1-1, lost 4. The last draw at Kirkana against Malta. In fact, the last home draw, you're going to go all the way back to 1996, Red Star Belgrade. Hearts would love a draw tonight, but realistically, with 20 minutes to go, 10 men against this Serie A side, maybe sitting at 11th, but I'll tell you what, they'll finish, I reckon, a few places higher than that as they start to hit their stride. Atkinson forward onto Mackay. Mackay tries to beat 2 but can't get past Terzic. Terzic will gather, play it inside. Here Mortoglu will gather, and again it'll be picked up by the men in white. And they'll gather, play the ball out wide. Mandragora still going. Saponara inside the area, will cut back inside onto that favoured right foot, tried to curl it into the top corner, well up and over the top, but the 682 fans of Fiorentina are swaying in the Tynecastle stand behind Craig Gordon. They're enjoying their trip to Edinburgh, and why not? It's Hearts 0, Fiorentina 2.
Yeah, the game's dropped off, hasn't it? There's it seems to be that both teams are quite happy with the status quo. Hearts happy to get out with just losing 2 goals, and Fiorentina just happy to get a victory.
Well, Saponara's failed to score in his last 11 Serie A matches. He's looked lively enough tonight as Humphreys falls on Kovic on that far side, and he just gets himself back up, and it's flicked away. Well, Hearts are taking what, around about 2,500 supporters to
sold out,
Florence.
2,500, but there's a lot more going over, Paul.
All the way to Florence and to Fiorentina, and we'll see how they get on. Florentine is the other description. That's actually a bed of spinach, would you believe, is the local dish. I'm sure there'll be more beer than greens being taken from the Hearts fans. Amrabat will gather, takes a little touch, back inside, centre circle. He's just stroking the ball about. He's been untroubled. Saponara outside the box, left-hand side, up against Atkinson. Atkinson slips short away, breaks off Kingsley, and a great little header away by Devlin to get the ball away. And again, you just watch Bonaventura is the man that was up at the edge of the 6-yard box. He thought he was going to have a simple little header in. Devlin never gave up on that corner. Fiorentina. 73 minutes gone. And there's going to be another change. Let's go across to Brian McLaughlin.
Yeah, a couple of changes. Dodo and Bianco, Alessandro Bianco, are the players coming on. The players being replaced, number 34, Sofian Amrabat, who had that injury early on in the first half, and the fullback Christian Biraghi.
Thanks, Brian. Amrabat has had a great game. Dodo has been out the last couple of games. Former Shakhtar Donetsk player, spent a lot of money on him. We're glad to see him back. He wears 2 short of stature, and he's the furthest player back. I mean, Harrison has scored for Scotland. Scotland 1, Austria 0. Great news for Scotland, looking to qualify and then get that playoff place in the next round against the Republic of Ireland. Abby Harrison in extra time. Scotland lead 1-0. Ball swung in from the corner. Mandragora got his head back. It's up and over the top it goes. Well, at least one Scottish side has scored tonight.
Yeah, good news.
So Hearts just taking their time. Well, Brian McLaughlin will speak, of course, with Robbie Nielsen after the game. Question 2 about Hearts are going to line up against Kilmarnock on Sunday.
There's a couple of more changes, Paul, coming from Hearts.
Let's go across to Brian McLaughlin.
Yeah, 2 changes made with 16 minutes left to play for Hearts. It's going to be Gary Mackay-Steven and Alan Forrest, the players coming on. We'll still wait and see, Paul, who's coming on. The board's going up just now, and it's number 30, Josh Giannelli, who's the first player being replaced. He's been pretty inactive this evening. And number 18, Barry Mackay, as well, possibly with an eye to Sunday's game against Kilmarnock in mind.
Thanks, Brian. So Forrest and Gary Mackay-Steven are on the field of play. Well, in terms of their last goals, Hearts' last 5 goals in the last 6 games, they're all either scored by Shankland or Forrest. So they had Shankland on the pitch for a while, and now Forrest comes on. He's got 3 goals. 3 in the last 5 that Hearts have scored. He's got 15 minutes to come on. It's really just a chance to run about, and Hearts just hoping to prevent another goal. Bonaventura in the midfield, and Regala gathers. All though out wide. Saponara back on the inside. Quarta will gather again. Linkovic on that far side takes a touch inside his own half. Lots of room, so he'll play the ball back inside onto the Argentinian international. Quarta strolled through this one. 8 years at River Plate, such a good player on the ball. Out wide, Terzic has moved to the left full-back position. Dodo is a natural right full-back. And the ball gets played forward. Bonaventura, a little clip ball forward, looking for Kami. Kami brings the ball down, hooks it in behind him, but Halliday gets the ball away. Quarta will gather again. And it's just too easy. Mandragora, he's the man who's gone to replace Amrabat in the middle of the field, just in between the two centre halves. And he's more than capable of playing there. He picks up the ball, all the way back it goes again. Hearts 0, Fiorentina 2. Hearts just on half-time with George Gianelli, had that chance saved by Galini. And now Terzic comes into the area. Terzic with a chance, good tracking back though by Forrest. Forrest has got nowhere to go inside his own area and somehow forces a goal kick. He was in all sorts of trouble facing two players, managed to knock the ball away, and it went behind, and Hearts have that goal kick taken by Craig Gordon. Gordon over the halfway line. Humphreys rises too early, ball breaks off his shoulder. Mandragora will gather. Mandragora once capped, the man from Naples, surprisingly out on loan last season with Torino. No use for him then, but they're certainly using him now. There's Alessandro Bianco, his first European involvement of the season. He's told to come forward, but he plays the ball back again. And up to the halfway line it goes, Bonaventura. Devlin sticking to Bonaventura. That's what Hearts needed in the first half. Going after players. Quarter now on this near side. Centre back gives the ball away. Pio Mortzoglu plays it forward onto Devlin. Devlin will play it out wide onto Alan Forrest. Forrest in the middle onto Humphreys. Humphreys has two men round him. He's now got four men round him. Has to come outside the area, trying to drag the ball back. In fact, he's got half of Fiorentina round him, and he's eventually going to lose the ball. And he shrugs his shoulders now. Here comes
5v2.
The men in white. It is 5v2. Little ball out wide to Kouame. This could be three. Back inside. Jovic! Hearts simply filleted right down the middle. Kouame back inside. And Luka Jovic, well, he's missed chance after chance after chance. Wasn't missing that. 7 yards out into the back of the net. Hearts 0, Fiorentina 3.
Yeah, he's probably deserved that in all honesty. I mean, he's led the line reasonably well for Fiorentina this evening. He's missed a few chances, but that was a well-constructed move. Hearts were caught out, too many players high up the field. In support, and you know, as soon as the ball was given away, too many Hearts players in positions where they couldn't recover, and I think they got a little bit excited and, you know, just over-committed, and they've suffered the consequences.
The ball's played up to Humphrey and he's got nothing. There was 5 men round him. Hearts have committed so many forward beyond him already, and then when Fiorentina get the ball, it was 5v2, you know, and it was just picking the right pass from the Fiorentina players, and they've done that out wide, played across. And you're right, Craig, I think Jovic deserves that goal. I think he's been terrific, his link-up play, and you know, if he's not played in Europe for them this year, you know, they must have some players, because he's a top player.
Yeah, just simply hadn't started, used him off the bench, but you have to wonder why, with the kind of performance he's rattling in at the moment.
It's like, honestly, you'd love to sit down with the likes of Callum McGregor and say, right, tell us about Real Madrid. What was it like? What do they do that other teams don't? And then sit down with Rangers, you know, guys that are there, and like, what about Van Dijk and people like that? You know, middle of the park, Jordan Henderson. How did you feel? And then even tonight, how does this compare to Hearts when they play against a Rangers or a Celtic? Are they miles ahead?
Yeah, it's been interesting. Well, there's 2 balls on the pitch at the moment. The referee's not bothered about that. Perhaps Hearts could borrow one as the ball comes forward on that far side. Milinkovic to Dodo. Going to Milinkovic. They are just strolling through this one at the moment. Well, since scoring 4 against Pasquet Tynecastle, Hearts have 3 goals and 6 home ties. And they've shipped 4 to Istanbul, 3 now to Fiorentina. And if Fiorentina could be bothered, it would get an awful lot worse. Gonzalez is on, wears 22. Saponara has departed the field of play. The change made. Fiorentina enjoying their first away victory since April 2022. This was a side that scored 10 goals in 12 games. The only time they scored 3 this season was opening day. Cremonese, they beat them 3-2. Since then, goals have been hard to come by, but not tonight. Kouame now appearing on the left-hand side, pushes the ball past Terzic, and Terzic can't get there. The ball runs behind. So the 2 men who were on the right-hand side are now on the left-hand side, Terzic and Kouame. Hearts have had to shuffle the defence on numerous occasions. The loss of young Lewis Nielsen sent off on his first full start in a European tie, pulling Mike Jovic, coming after 47 minutes, and really it's been downhill in the second half since then. Now the ball gets headed forward over the halfway line. Terzic knocks it down. Atkinson plays it forward, back to Terzic. Kouame gets the touch, and now it's sent long. Hearts will chase after it through Forest. Quarter doesn't use his goalkeeper, a little acrobat overhead kick, breaks down to Devlin. Devlin follows through on Terzic, and Devlin says there was no real intent on that. The referee keeps the card in the pocket and decides no further action. I'll tell you what, Alan, you just weren't talking there. I'll be interested to watch how Fiorentina play against Lazio, because I've watched them. I think the last 4 games I've found them very timid, very tepid coming forward. Good technically, as you mentioned, but I said to Craig at half-time, the thing I look forward to most having watched them is the full-time whistle, because they did nothing for me exciting. And you didn't look at them tonight. They've clearly got the class.
They have, but it's, Paul, it's the levels. We go on about it again. You know, it's the standard of the league.
Kouame takes a little touch, comes inside, cuts the ball back. Chance, the edge of the area, breaks back onto Gonzalez. He gets the second shot away, and Kouame was offside. It broke back for young Alessandro Bianco at the edge of the box, and then back to Gonzalez. But Kouame was then offside as the ball came through to back to Alan Preston.
Yeah, it's a standard of the league. The players they have, you know, the money that they've got in the Italian league, obviously with the television and things, and the crowds that they get as well. We just can't compete. You know, if you know your European football, Başakşehir and Fiorentina, we're talking to Craig on the way in, we both didn't fancy Hearts tonight because of the size of the club that they are, you know, the riches that they've got, the players that they've got. Just didn't fancy Hearts at all, and the same against the Turkish side. And unfortunately, that's where we are at the moment.
Yeah, it's not been a good night. This is a Fiorentina side never failed to get out the group stage of the UEFA Cup or the Europa League. Semi-finalists in the Europa League just 8 years ago, losing on aggregate to Seville. And I mentioned in the first half, prior to the loss against Istanbul away, they were unbeaten in 5 away European games. They do travel well, and they've travelled tonight, the first time in Scotland since 2008. Couldn't find a way past Rangers, and they found a way past Hearts. Not once, not twice, but 3 times. 6 minutes to play, more head towards the exits. And on that far side, Andy Halliday pulls the ball back inside. Cochrane back on to Craig Gordon. Gordon sends the ball long. Kouame was there, just joining us. The opening goal coming just after 3 minutes as Jovic goes down just in front of us. Kouame doesn't care less. He actually goes past the prostrate man on the ground. Now Terzic plays it in. The header, Bonaventura coming across. Cochrane tried to get as close as he could. The header was wide. Jovic is back up miraculously. Terzic is just pulling him away from the Hearts fans before he can react. I think it's more out frustration from the Hearts fans, because I'll tell you what, anybody that's watched this game will realise Jovic has been terrific.
Yeah, he has been. I think he's wanting a square goal with about 25 Hearts fans. Yeah.
I tell you what, my money might be on the Serbian. He's been known to pop himself about. He's been a champion in Spain, Serbia, Portugal. Everywhere he's gone, he's won the league. I think it's going to be harder with Fiorentina. There's a rare loose pass onto this near side. Hearts 0, Fiorentina 3. Scotland leading Austria. Abby Harrison 1-0. Scotland leading that playoff game. Now Quarta moving the ball forward. Fiorentina onside on that far side, and trekking back very quickly came Halliday. And again, it's good play from Nicolas Gonzalez wide on that far side. Argentinian international player hugging that right touchline, long angle ball to him, and the flag stayed down once more. Ball gets played back to the centre circle. Onto this near side, Terzic there. Well, Fiorentina, if they look up and see the clock, it's approaching 86 minutes. Certainly not exerting themselves at the moment. Little push ball forward. Bonaventura calling for it. Milinkovic just stumbling slightly back inside onto Quarta. Quarta gathers, plays it through. Back onto Dodo, drags the ball back. Dodo, Brazilian under-23 international player. We're glad to have him back. And Terzic, who's now at left back, It's technically their third choice, right full back. Another change is coming. That gives us a chance to go to Brian McLaughlin.
Yeah, I think this is the final one of the night. Number 5, Giacomo Bonaventura, is the player who's being replaced. Coming on, number 27, Simon Zurkowski.
So Zurkowski is on the field of play. Tall Polish player, wanders on, made his international debut against Scotland and Greg Gordon earlier on this season. Beg your pardon, back in March, technically last season. To score at the top level for Fiorentina in Serie A. 6 goals that he scored in the top flight have come from Empoli, where he was on loan. Now the opportunity to play it out wide. Bianco onto Kouame up on this left-hand side, the scorer of the second goal. Back inside it comes. They're just playing the ball from left to right. Quarta sends it on that far side, finds his countryman Gonzalez. Gonzalez outside the box, runs back across. Tynecastle Park to get out his way, and then it was Tynecastle who got the ball away. Tynecastle will have better games as a Hearts player. It's just the third Hearts appearance. The game's bypassed them many times in the second half as Hearts have been on the back foot. Cross comes in, Kingsley with a header away. And Hearts 10 men since 47 minutes, trying to soak up more pressure from Fiorentina. Fiorentina taking a touch on the halfway line. Quarta plays it short onto Alessandro Bianco, signed this season from Torino. That's picked up. Quarta again. Quarta moves forward, plays it out wide onto that right hand side, onto Dodo. Dodo takes the touch ball back inside Gonzalez. Good tracking back by Devlin. And Tynecastle gets the ball away. And out of play by the halfway line. The Hearts fans have been drifting to the exits in the last 10-12 minutes. They continue to do so. 90 seconds of normal time to be played. Hearts 0, Fiorentina 3. And it's going to be 3 losses in 3 nights for Scottish teams in Europe. And the ball out wide onto Kouame. Kouame pulls the ball back onto Terzic. I think the only thing I've left to ask Craig Levine if he knows what the weather's due to be like in Florence next week, because I hope it's nice.
I have no idea.
Bit of research
You
required.
don't need the sun in the pub.
Ball gets played forward by Hearts and knocked out of play. And it's on this near side. Well, Hearts fans will be travelling with, well, they were going to be travelling with hope and expectation. They might just not bother with the expectation, just go with the hand luggage of hope. As the ball gets thrown down the line, little ball back inside by Humphreys. And again it breaks the way of the men in white. Zurkowski tries to batter the ball forward, it's blocked, comes back into the area. Halliday plays it away up towards the halfway line. Ninkovic will go and gather. The ball gets played back. I forgot they had a goalkeeper actually, Fiorentina. There's Galini. Had a little spell with Aston Villa as well, never made the first team. He's trained with Man United as a youth player as well, on loan from Atalanta. Well, both these teams know that this game is over. Just 8 seconds of normal time. And then the fourth official will hold up the boards. Kouame inside his opponent's half, plays it out wide onto Bianco. Alessandro Bianco, edge of the box, left-hand side, almost left it for Terzic. 3 additional minutes to be played. Bianco clips it out wide for Dodo. I thought he brought that down on his arm. Fires it across, came off Halliday, almost beat Craig Gordon. Ripples off the roof of the net and it's a corner. That just would have sealed Hearts' night.
I'm just watching and I think he's been dreadful for the last year and a bit. Gary Mackay-Stevens looks totally and utterly disinterested. That's his man, he just runs off the back of him. He's no idea where he is.
Well, he's going to get short on the corner as well. He comes across and touches the ball out of play before Bianco could gather. And it's going to be a throw-in to Fiorentina. More and more fans heading for the exits. As Hearts, well, simply they want this one over as well. Gonzalez on that far side. Well, Hearts will gather on that occasion. Would you believe it? It's still 0-0 in Riga. Simikovic has been sent off for Riga's footballer Skolak. RFS as they're called, but Shashir have not been able to find a way past them. That in stoppage time at the moment. Here's the opportunity for Kouame inside his own half. Lee McLeod will run you through the group standings on the full-time whistle. Remember, Scotland being Austria at the moment, the World Cup playoff went to extra time. Abby Harrison with the goal. Here, Hearts, well, they had a sniff of goal through Josh Gianelli right on half-time. Galini made the save. Hearts then had a little bit of hope for the second half. Started brightly, but have evaporated with a red card. Red card coming for Lewis Nielsen, straight red for the fullback on Jovic. Now up at the edge of the area, Bianco will scoop the ball out wide onto Kouame. Kouame will gather. Hearts have lost their last 2 home games 4-0. They don't want another 4 here. Headed away well. And Hearts gather, get the ball outside the area. And Kouame again will just bring the ball down. Mandragora, Kouame, Jovic, the goal scorers. Jovic's goal was beautifully taken, so too was Kouame's goal. The first one was tamely conceded by Hearts. And now the ball gets played forward. And time just ticking away. We're inside the final few seconds of this one. And if Scottish football was looking for some redemption this week in the European game, it's certainly not come at Tynecastle tonight. Long throw down the line, knocked on by Humphreys. Milinkovic will gather back inside, and mercifully for Hearts, the full-time whistle goes. It's another home defeat. It's now 6 and 7 in European matches for Hearts. Lost an early goal, lost a second just before half-time. They lost a man just after half-time, and then Luka Jovic made it 3-0 after 78 minutes. It was a comfortable win for the Serie A side. Hearts will travel to Florence next week, but tonight at Tynecastle it's finished. Hearts 0, Fiorentina 3.
Hearts in the Europa Conference League.